5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. We are here after the bye week. You're nice and rested. You just keep on working all your stuff.
All the time.
You don't have a bye week. I did. I had a bye week.
You know, coaches don't have bye week, but my uncle, Charles Durham, Uncle Vaughn, during bye weeks, he would teach me new recipes because I love cooking and I'm developing, my cooking show, The Butler and the Chef with Chef David. And it was a way to get away from football. But what he did that was brilliant, Uncle Vaughn, we would watch other NFL games. Because you want to see how you measure up, because it's at the halfway point. So it was interesting watching some of the teams you're gonna play and that you've played. So the bye week was something interesting because I really didn't know my rookie year, first 2 years, I really didn't know what are you doing the bye week. So I would go to Lee Rimmel, of course. It says, do I need to talk to the media? No, you don't necessarily have to, but you can do it before you leave, when you get back. And then when the coaches met us, I can see anxiety on Lindy Infante's face or Holmgren, because they don't want to read that somebody got in trouble. Yeah,
that's the worst nightmare for the bye week. But, I think LaFleur did give his guys, his coaches, some time off, which I think they probably need, especially
I like that.
Given these guys had, the South America game and the travel and everything like that. So it's been
family is
quite
very
a long
important.
season. And you got to get away for a little bit, but that's over. That's over. They were back to work on Monday. Players had a practice.
Now,
they were around?
I apologize. Did Robert Solemn come up?
No.
I need to talk to him.
No.
I need him to figure out why we're throwing a lot of interceptions, why we won't run the ball consistently. I need him to look at our offense, what we want him to do a deep dive before we talk Bears. It would have been great to know if he's here.
I wonder if part of the reason their offense hasn't been that good the last 2 weeks, he's been advising, the last 2 weeks.
You can't put that on him.
I mean,
you need to stop, man.
Guys from losing teams like that, you don't want to touch them,
No. He's probably just getting started this week.
We'll see about that.
You're always trying to start these rumors, man.
I think there's a lot to...
Put it this way, I think we'll agree he's glad he's not with the Jets.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So thank you to the Jets. Thank you.
I think before we look ahead, we got to look back, and the Packers dealt Preston Smith to the Steelers for a 7th round pick. And that's a loss in the locker room, but the part that I take away from it the most is that Preston Smith felt uncomfortable playing in the 4-3 defense. He was drafted as a 3-4 outside linebacker. That's all he's played. And it makes me wonder, Rashawn Gary was drafted as a 3-4 outside linebacker. Lucas Van Ness, Kingsley Enagbari, Aaron Mosby, Brenton Cox. So if Preston Smith was kind of uncomfortable with what he was doing, wanted to be traded, he said he requested the trade. It makes me wonder what is going on with the rest of the guys, because the production hasn't been there from their ends. So what do we make of that?
I think it's a fair question, but I'm going to first say this. I want to thank him. Preston Smith has been magnificent. A great young man. I think he'll be 32. And shout out to Gutekunst to get him to a winner, not send him somewhere, some losing team. That would have been devastating. But that's when 2 grown men can come to an agreement. And plus, I want to see the younger guys, though. I want to see, can 57. Cox can play that. 53. I want to see 90 more. I want to see these guys. 55. Maybe he's a starter now because 55, I think, is the best in putting his hand in the ground. When he's hand in the ground, he's better than all of them.
Big, strong guy, gets up the field.
That's why he's one of my favorite players. We got to get him on the field. And maybe we can, and this is when the bye week is when this stuff is supposed to happen. So getting a 7th round pick, I thought was amazing because, I didn't know what teams would give in the halfway of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of his contract, but that's not too big a deal. I mean, I think they gained about $2 million in cap space.
Yeah.
But then they didn't trade for anybody.
Did he rework his deal to stay here last year?
Yes, he did. To create cap room.
Yes, I think guys that do that. So we're on good terms.
Yeah. But you avoided my question. What's the difference between why are these guys struggling to play a 4-3 versus a 3-4? I don't get it.
Well, the sacks aren't there.
Right.
It is an adjustment, just like when we moved from a 3-4 to a 4-3 when Fritz got here. Yeah. It was kind of a trend. It took us a while to get it going. And then all of a sudden, because Fritz never really wanted to pressure, he was a 4-man rush guy. Yeah. And it took us a while, but we had grown-ups.
Well,
this is young guys.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a while because it's a whole different playbook. And most of these guys were under the playbook of the last coordinator. But the raw talent, you thought you would see more of that. And seeing that the Bears gave up 9 sacks, maybe this is the week to do it. But if you don't do it against the Bears, it's going to be some concerns there because you're going to have to do pressure all the time. So I think the really answer to the question is up to the guy individually, Tom. You can have your hand in the ground or you can stand up, just get the job done. I'm sure that's what they're telling them. Yeah. Because let's assume Hafley said, I want everybody's hand in the dirt. Just assume he said that. Let's assume he said, okay, I want my 2 ends standing up. It doesn't matter at this point. We're 6-3. If you got a one-on-one, you got to beat it.
And he's he's tried to create one-on-ones by having those linebackers mug up, Edrin Cooper and Quay Walker. And part of that is to get rush from them, but also it's to create one-on-ones on the outside. And when those guys get those, you have to win. I also wonder if we'll see, and I'm interested in talking to him about this, if we'll see him widen the guys out a little bit. In the 4-3, they got to be a little wider so they could use a little bit more of the field. In the 4-3, they're a little more compact. I don't know. You think that's a factor at all, or not really?
I think that's a great point. I like when you come up with new things to challenge me. Because it gives you a better angle. Because that's what Big Dog, Reggie White, he went to Fritz and Larry Brooks. I like to be a little bit wider. They get a better angle. Then teams start running the ball in our C-gap. So it puts stress on our linebackers. But when they threw the ball, Reggie was just tearing them up. Yeah. I mean, it was because they hadn't seen it.
Well, it gave him that outside. You had to protect the outside, and then he came back inside on you and threw you like a rag doll. Exactly. But, of course, not everybody can do that. But
it creates a two-way goal.
Yeah.
So to your point, maybe they should try that.
Maybe it's harder to double them if they're wider. I don't know.
I know one thing you just brought up. Man, you're smart. It'll take away the chip.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, wait a minute. Normally, he's inside of me. Now he's outside the tight end. So that tight end turns the chip. And whoever has the tight end man-to-man, you can go to the quarterback. Yeah. We did a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what he starts to do.
I am too.
So as we can start to look ahead, and we're looking at the Bears. You mentioned the Bears. Poor Caleb Williams has been sacked 15 times in the last 2 games. I think he's on pace to be sacked like 62 times.
Yeah, I think it's at 38 right now.
Yeah, and it's just, embarrassing. Now, they gave up 9 sacks against the Patriots. Yes. That's bad. Doesn't matter who you're starting. But they were missing their 2 tackles, and then they lost their left guard, Tevin Jenkins. here's what I want to know from you is, okay, they fired their offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, this Tuesday morning, and now they bring in another guy who's a little bit of a Sean McVay disciple.
Okay.
He was under Sean McVay. What does Hafley do? Can they change their offense that dramatically in 1 week?
No, it's baked in the cake.
Okay.
If he tried to change something with a young quarterback, it's a disaster. But he's also probably telling you'll get that new coach bump though, new voice.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll let you express a little bit what you want to do. So yeah, it'll be a little bump. Same thing happened with the Saints, with their intern coach.
Right.
So you've been seeing a lot of coaches been firing coordinators because they're trying to shake it up. And yes, sometimes I don't like in-season firings. I really don't. I think it's a commitment, it's a loyalty to it, because you just can't blame a guy. Florida State did the same thing. They got rid of a couple of coordinators, wide receivers coach, and they're 1-9.
Yeah.
You're basically telling people it was their fault.
Yeah.
So I say, and you only had 2 games left for Florida State, keep those guys and show them some loyalty. So instead of, I think, firing him, switch up something in the system.
So keep them and then maybe have someone else call plays.
Exactly.
Right.
Let the coordinator manage and let this guy call the plays. But for Caleb, they started at 4-2. They're thinking, okay, he's the guy.
Yeah.
But coaches, as players, we have our weaknesses. They're stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
Run the football.
Yeah.
If a quarterback is not, you're playing New England, a rookie, they got a rookie, Drake May, I think.
Yep, Drake May, yep.
Run the ball. Run the football and just kind of manage the game. I need to ask you a question.
Right.
Because maybe it's your fault.
Okay.
It's good for my mental health if I blame you.
Yes.
Why is managing the game, Tom, why is that bad?
I
don't get it. I don't get it.
I consider it bad when that's all you can do. So
No, I ain't saying that.
But I'm saying a good quarterback with a good arm can manage a game. I think that's a good thing. I agree with you.
I like that.
I agree with you. You got to take chances at some point. But,
yes.
There's nothing wrong with taking check downs. I think that's as good as a run. That's a 4-yard run. That's how it was in the West Coast offense.
Exactly.
Why they had the 2 backs back there. Because, throw it out to Edgar Bennett, throw it out to Dexter McNabb. That's a 5-yard gain.
Exactly.
Right?
I just don't get it now.
Teams don't do that.
And that's what they should have did with Caleb. We're going to manage the game. The weather's changing.
Yeah.
We're going to manage the game. We got a good defense, good special teams, and try to win like they lost 19-3 or something like that. Even for Green Bay, for the Packers, have Jordan Love manage the game properly.
Yeah.
22 attempts, 20 attempts, but you're running the ball with your 2 or 3-headed monster with Brooks, 8 and 31, and just run the ball and look for play action opportunities.
Yeah, because you're facing a good defense. This isn't a bad defense.
No, that defense is good.
They're right up in the top 10.
Yes.
In defense.
But Josh Jacobs should be the issue. But Swift should be the issue for the Bears. But no, they got Keenan Allen, who I think may be a Hall of Famer. Moore. And Aduzier, first pick. Big old 3 big receivers. Yeah. The tight end's huge.
Yep, Cole Kmet.
Nope. I want to throw it down the field, and it cost him his job.
Yeah, there's some talk. I've been listening to a lot of talk radio in Chicago and whatever, and there was a lot of talk about Caleb Williams has been changing a lot of plays. They gave him a lot of freedom at the line of scrimmage. I went back and looked. Yeah, you could see him checking to some plays.
Okay.
But what I saw was a blitz coming at him, New England running 7 guys at the line, and the guy doesn't get picked up, and there's no hot read for him to go too quick, and you're kind of like, man, what's he supposed to do? He can't really do anything in that situation.
Yeah.
There's a play where he's got DJ Moore in one of those bubble screens, and Keenan Allen just misses his block. I mean, just misses it. And if he doesn't, DJ Moore is gone, you know? So there's a lot of stuff going on there. I don't know whether it's coaching, whether it's the players, but when you have a guy like DJ Moore, who's a pro, you know, he's been around, and he runs a route and he walks off the field, you know,
I saw that.
while Caleb Williams is scrambling, you know, and then you got a cornerback who's, you know, talking to the crowd where Jaden Daniels is getting ready to throw a Hail Mary. You got to wonder what's going on in the big picture. I just wonder what we'll see. Will they just dumb it down and say, all right, Caleb, you know, take what you can get. You got a good arm. You got 3 good receivers. You got a running back. Go for it. Or will they say, hey, Caleb Williams, you can wing it. Take some chances. Take it down the field, you know?
Well, full disclosure, my aunt lives in Aurora,
so
Illinois.
She's been spying, huh?
Yeah, but when I got drafted, she's a Packer fan, but my uncle and cousins, big Bears fans. You know what they're saying? Yeah, we got beat. We got Green Bay. We can beat Green Bay.
Right.
They got a lot of holes. It's the youngest team. And, you know, we were at like my cousin had a birthday, and we just went up there. They got all their Bear stuff on.
Yeah.
I said, man, y'all just got beat, and, you know, coach may get fired. Or whatever. I was talking about the head coach. But they said, yeah, but we're playing Green Bay. So I'm sure they got to sell it to Caleb. This is your first rivalry game against the Packers. If you win this game, there's no more booze. But if you get down 14-0, 21-0, here come the booze, fire ever flows, and it's all gonna come raining down.
Yeah.
And the Packers are coming off a bye, so maybe they're looking past you for San Francisco and Miami and Detroit. So maybe you can sneak a victory in, and you're at home.
Yeah.
But the thing about the rivalry, Tom, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
A lot of the young guys on the Packers haven't experienced it. But you see a team in turmoil like that, you keep it like that.
Yeah,
you don't feel sorry for nobody.
That's right.
You go there and just, I mean.
I think Detroit has become the new rival. You know, now, I mean, there's a lot of trash talking going on. You know, Brian Branch ticked off a lot of guys, and he you know, gives the double bird to the fans.
Same
you know,
Brown
Packers did
shirt.
some pushing in the kneel down, you know, that was unnecessary. And so, that's a big rivalry, which I wanted to pivot to the NFC North. You know, the Packers had a chance. They had, like, gifts, like, sitting there right in front of them, and both the Vikings and Lions took it away. You know, the Lions were losing the entire game to Houston, didn't lead at all, and got off through 5 interceptions, and they found a way to win. That's when you know you're a good team. And you can throw quarterback can throw 5 interceptions, and you can beat a team like Houston.
And it doesn't bother you. Most guys will crack up.
No.
Jared Goff.
You think Dan Campbell cared?
Yeah, no.
Heck no.
You got a Bates. Got a local
two
kid.
50-yard field goals.
Yeah, just trot him out there. And, you know, the thing about it is they're missing Aiden Hutchinson. You can't tell it. That defense, they give up a play here. You got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So C.J. Stroud threw that bad interception in the end zone.
Wow, was that
I'm like,
bad?
Why wouldn't you run Joe Mixon?
Well, or just throw it. You know, he kind of lollipopped it up.
Joe Mixon should have got 52 carries.
Yeah.
Even if he don't, see the thing about it, and I'm hoping that the self-scout, when you're behind, you don't necessarily have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
You can still run the football. And that's how you get back into the game. But sometimes coaches panic, quarterbacks panic, you force the ball, next thing to pick, next thing you know, if they had kicked 2 field goals, they probably would have won.
Yeah.
But they didn't score any points. But Detroit, you got to take them away. And Jacksonville, they picked Sam Darnold off 3 times.
Yeah.
But it can only score 7 points.
And they're starting Mac Jones at quarterback. Trevor
Yes.
Lawrence didn't play. And, they had every chance in the world to win the game. But, what that says to me is that losing to Detroit, Minnesota at home gave you such a small margin for error from now on.
Yes.
And not only do you have to beat both those teams, I think,
at their place,
but then you got to hope they lose,
which they've done last year.
Yes,
they did it last year.
They did, yes.
But still, you got to hope somebody beats them.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And that was the 2 stumbles.
Right, that was. I don't know that Jared Goff is going to throw 5 interceptions every game, and neither is Darnold. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up. So I did some number crunching, and the NFC North has thrown, I think it's 34 interceptions through 9 games.
Oh, my.
And it's the most since 2010. So almost 15 years. And you're like, but it's the best the division has done in how long? How do you explain that? Explain that to me.
I don't know.
How do you explain all those interceptions? Is it that they are just playing lousy teams? They are 12-2 against the AFC South. Or is it that they are just so good that they can overcome those kind of things?
2 things can be true. Because
more than 2 things.
If you threw that many, you would think this would be the worst division in football.
Yeah.
You would think.
34.
But can you imagine if Jordan Love threw half, everybody threw half of those, all the teams would be like, 7-1, 7-2, or 8-1. I mean, maybe undefeated. You never know.
Yeah. Who do you think has thrown the fewest?
I think it was Goff, wasn't it, before last week?
Yeah, but now, after this past week.
The fewest, I'm going to guess Love's on the fewest.
Caleb Williams.
He's on the fewest?
The fewest interceptions, 5, I think.
Really?
Darnold has 9, Love has 10. Darnold and Love have 10, and Goff has 9, or something like that.
Well, that's a positive. He didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, it is. It is. But they're in last place.
Wow.
And so
I'm bad at trivia.
The other noticeable thing about the NFC North is that every team has a good defense. They're all highly ranked defenses.
Yes.
And so that's going to be interesting. Which of the offenses is going to really explode, or which of the defenses is for real?
That's a great question. Well, Detroit's running game, they commit to it, and that's their brand.
Yeah.
Their defense wants you to throw the football. You can run the ball on Detroit. The weather's about to change. Minnesota defense, they gambling, man. Yeah. They gambling. Sometimes they'll bring 7, sometimes they'll bring 4. You got to figure it out. Yep. And if every time Sam Darnold interception comes, it's when he's throwing it to 18. If Aaron Jones is not healthy, it hurts their offense.
Yeah.
So, but
they got T.J. Hawkinson back now.
Oh yeah, at tight end. Yes.
He played in this last game, so he's back. So that's a big boost for them.
And the Bears, they just got to muddy it up with defense and special teams, and they can just score 20 points.
Yeah, just get their quarterback efficient.
And that's it. And you would think that the best overall thinking of what we need to do besides Detroit, the Packers, but the Packers are like in them. I think watching games made me angry. You know why?
Why?
Because you measure, the Packers are better than that team. Oh, that team's good. The Packers are better than that team. And then you see teams like San Francisco, they're getting healthy.
Yeah. Yep.
So
what do the Packers have to do the second half? What do they got to do?
Got to be aggressive on defense. Moving forward, you got to be aggressive. You have to, Tom.
Get after quarterbacks?
You have to. You got to be the same way New England was doing, the same thing that Minnesota does. If whether Jair is playing or not, now praying my nephew was healthy, 33, Evan Williams, because it's a difference without him in that secondary. With him, boy, they're strong. Without him, it's some spots, you can get plays. But if you get everybody healthy, you got to start challenging these teams, and don't, because he's a rookie quarterback, and I mean you could change it up, but moving forward, you got to be aggressive. I don't think I ever say this: aggressive on defense, conservative on offense.
Interesting.
Can't be both.
Different
Than
what they've been.
Can't be both. Jordan can't throw it 35 times, 38. In the 20s, higher percentage, no turnovers.
Right.
Run Josh Jacobs till his tongue is on the ground, and then run 31 out there or 30 out there, mix it up, and when he gets some water, get him back in there.
Yeah.
Because all the play action is wide open after that.
Right.
But you can't outscore people anymore. I mean, it's not that year. Right. We had to, because when we were 2-5, I think.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
And we went on that run, and Jordan was 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. We had to force the issue. But now, all the chips should be out there.
Yeah.
After watching Sunday, you
I
can
agree
compete with these teams.
I don't agree with you on that kind of stuff.
Well, you should.
Like usually, I'm all passing, take advantage of Jordan Love. But I think you're right. I think Josh Jacobs has to be the centerpiece of the offense.
Yes.
And, they proved they can run with Malik Willis. They can run with Jordan Love, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they proved that, too, as well. So, they got to get that play-action game going.
Yes.
And stop being so centered around him all the time.
Yeah, especially if Josh Myers is not healthy. You got to take a look at that.
That's going to be up in the air this week. I don't know. I saw him in the locker room, but we won't know until Wednesday if he's coming back. They should be getting Marshawn Lloyd back pretty soon. I don't know if that's a factor at all.
Yeah.
They could use the speed.
But then you'll have 4 running backs up.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get deactivated if he's up.
Right. Then you have to figure out what you're going to do. So I don't know. But, other than that, they got to get Jerry Alexander back. That's huge. Yeah. And Evan Williams, like you said.
Got to have it. I think you got to have 33 back more than 23, because down the stretch, the safeties is very important.
Yeah, well, and it allows you to bring Bullard down in the box.
Exactly.
And that's where he needs to be. Right?
Yes, he definitely needs to be there. I would keep 25 at corner and bring 20 down in the slot.
Yeah.
33 and 29. Oh, I feel great. 7 and 56 are my nickel backs. Okay, base 58's in there, but they're going to rotate it in, and they need to bring in some packages to get 52 on the inside.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys in the A-gaps coming, and you can maybe drop a linebacker or two. We got to free up, run some picks for 52 to get after it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who's going to be the starter, but I think 55 will be the starter since 91 is gone. But I want to see something different when I see Sunday. I want to see something different and aggressive.
You know what's interesting, and this we'll get going after this one, but think about what's the difference between their defense last year and their defense this year. Okay, Hafley's there. Numbers are pretty similar. What's different is Xavier McKinney is playing his butt off.
Yeah, he's like a mid-season All-Pro.
Evan Williams, you mentioned, has added a lot.
Oh, my goodness.
Javon Bullard has added a lot. Edrin Cooper. Those 4 guys they brought in who are making a big difference on defense. And when you want to talk about scheme and personnel matters more than scheme. When you got guys who can play, it makes you look really good. And they have 4 guys there who should be, the crux of their defense for a long
you're right
time.
about that. And then I feel good about McManus kicking, because it's a kicking league now, Tom. They're trying it from 58, 57, 52, and they don't care about the win. And then, so McManus,
indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter.
If he's on, I feel good about that. Wheeling the punter, that guy's amazing, man. But special teams and the 2 teams were good. So my prediction, really, would be different if they had the same coordinator. But since they changed coordinators, that can go either really good or really bad. Mm-hmm. But the key number for the Packers offense, 30 points.
Always is.
You gotta score 30 points. But a manageable 30 points to where Josh Jacobs get 2 or 3 touchdowns, or Tucker Kraft gets some touchdowns. And every now and then, it'll be some balls over top. But that's a good defense. They turn the ball over, they tackle well, and they run. But I say the Packers will win 30-20.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. We'll see if you're right next week after the Packers play the Bears. Mm-hmm. We hope you all have a really good week. You want to thank some people before we head out?
Yes, MilwaukeeWindowGuys.com. Matter of fact, go there now, and you can save an extra 20%. Extra 20% if you mention LEAP. And again, you would take out your phone and you can scan my QR code for some of the IT things and artificial reality stuff I'm working on. Of course, I want to thank Pick and Save. And I want to also thank all the veterans out there around the world. Thank you. If it wasn't for you, I couldn't be doing the show with Bill and Tom. We just love and respect you. Really, every day is Veterans Day. And I just appreciate some of the restaurants who are giving some of the veterans free food. So I want to thank my brother Michael, my brother Darian, Air Force and Army, and my other hero, my father-in-law, Carlton Jordan, who was in the Army. So thank you all for Veterans Day.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks again for joining us. Don't forget to
your blog.
Check into the live blog, right?
Don't be
Become a subscriber.
People. Huh? Don't be arguing with people on the blog.
I know. I got to back off that a little bit. Be sure you subscribe, get all our content.
Hey, my uncle subscribes.
There you go. That's good enough advertising
he's cheap
right there.
too.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.